Hi, I'm John Chapo. When thinking of sustainability, someone might not think automatically of the Lincoln Children's Zoo. But here at the Lincoln Children's Zoo, conserving animals and wild species and conserving our natural resources are part of our mission. They're our core values. So let's take an adventure throughout the zoo and discover how the zoo keeps this mission, is sustainable, takes good care of the environment, takes good care of animals, takes great care of our community. Let's check it out in the zoo. Beginning with the SSP, or Species Survival Plan. The mission of an Association of Zoos and Aquarium Species Survival Plan program is to oversee the population management of select species within the AZA member institutions and to enhance conservation of the species in the wild. Each SSP program coordinates the individual activities of participating member institutions through a variety of species conservation, research, husbandry management, and educational initiatives.
SSPs are very important because zoos are a unique environment. So as much as we would like them to be able to, it's hard for us to move animals back and forth between zoos often because that means packing up their home, sending them to other places. And so even though we have lots of animals, so there are several thousand black-handed spider monkeys, there are hundreds of giraffe that are in zoos around the country, it's hard to make sure that they stay balanced because at a zoo like ours where we have 4 giraffe, once you have a few babies, it's hard to make sure that they stay genetically diverse enough. And so one of the things that we do by cooperating in the SSPs is make agreements with other zoos to say, we have maxed out our capacity of breeding here at our zoo. Let's swap animals so that we can get some new genetics in and continue to contribute to this species without worrying about problems of inbreeding or anything like that.
SSP programs are led by expert advisors who cooperatively work together to maximize genetic diversity, appropriately manage the demographic distribution, and long-term sustainability of taxon advisory group recommended animal programs within AZA member institutions. Each SSP program manages the breeding of a select species or subspecies by collaborating with the AZA Population Management Center, Reproductive Management Center, program leaders, and institutional representatives from each participating institution to develop an SSP breeding and transfer plan.
So the conservation team is made up of a handful of people, and we talk about conservation and sustainability efforts in a lot of different ways. We focus on it globally, so kind of in a global setting where maybe we might help with research in a different continent or country. We also focus on it nationally, and of course we focus on it locally, so right here in the zoo and in the community of Lincoln as well.
We have many sustainability programs here at the zoo. We have many conservation programs here at the zoo, and it would take me an entire hour to talk about them all. But the real concept, the core of what we do for our conservation work is that we like to raise new conservationists. So myself, as a person, I can only do so much in any one day. But by teaching and giving the skills to another person to be able to do that conservation work on their own and to inspire that desire to do conservation on their part, we can grow thousands or hundreds of thousands of conservationists over the years. And as those people go out in the world and make their impact, then we can really do great things.
Not only does the zoo conserve animals, but also energy. Conserving energy happens all over the zoo, in all departments and locations. Ways we conserve energy include the use of LED lighting, security motion, and daylight sensors. All existing light fixtures have been replaced with low-energy ballast and LED bulbs, and automatic timers assist with eliminating human error. No lights left on here at the zoo. The zoo also utilizes geothermal wells and pumps for heating and cooling purposes throughout the zoo. Geothermal heating systems function because of the Earth's natural heat resources. The ground will absorb about 50% of the sun's energy and is naturally absorbed into the pipes underground. Inside of these pipes is a water solution which is circulated throughout the pipes. The liquid is what carries the heat throughout the pipes until it reaches the heat pump. The geothermal heat pump is where the heat is removed from the water and sent along to the HVAC system in our buildings. Geothermal agencies like the EPA and the Department of Energy, consumer industry groups, and geothermal system owners all agree that geothermal heating and cooling is considered the world's greenest and most energy efficient. Last year, LES and Lincoln Children's Zoo partnered to bring our community Zoo Lights, powered by LES, an exceptional, great holiday destination for families of the entire area. From November to January, the zoo was lit with all kinds of awesome lights, dancing light tunnel, animal silhouettes, 40-foot dancing Christmas tree, and make it a huge destination. And every one of those 250,000 lights was LED. Those LED lights reduced replacement costs for us. It saved us a lot of energy. It was a great energy efficient, great sustainability way to go. So we really appreciate LES's partnership with bringing zoo lights to the Lincoln community. LES and the zoo also teamed up to bring this solar-powered charging station. This station features both AC and USB outlets for all kinds of charging. You can charge your laptop, your phone, any kind of device, including your electric wheelchair. This is another great partnership with LES and the Lincoln Children's Zoo. Protecting the environment is paramount here at the Lincoln Children's Zoo. The zoo is outfitted with watershed management and bioretention areas. Watershed management is an adaptive, comprehensive management planning process that seeks to balance healthy ecological, economic, and cultural and social conditions within a watershed. Watershed management serves to integrate planning for land and water. It takes into account both ground and surface water flow, recognizing and planning for the interaction of water, plants, animals, and human land use found within the physical boundaries of a watershed. In urban settings like here at the zoo, managing areas to prevent soil loss and control stormwater flow are a few of the areas that receive attention. A few practices that are used to manage stormwater before it reaches a channel are retention ponds, filtering systems, and wetlands. It is important that a stormwater is given an opportunity to infiltrate so the soil and vegetation can act as a filter before the water reaches nearby streams or lakes. In the case of soil erosion prevention, a few common practices include the use of silt fences, landscape fabric with grass seeds, and hydroseeding. The main objective in all cases is to slow water movement to prevent soil transport. Locations such as the pony corral, goat habitat, camel yard, play stream, and all the new expansion use watershed management. Here at the zoo, we have a full-time horticulture staff that works tirelessly not only to provide beautiful gardens, but to reduce the use of water and energy needed to care for our grounds. This is achieved through native and xeriscape plantings, drip irrigation systems, reduced lawn areas, use of tree trimming and branches for animals to browse, and shredding up the leftovers for mulch on the zoo grounds. The zoo is also proud to share with you its strong recycling program. Throughout the zoo, recycling cans easily to find to cut down on landfill waste. Internally, our offices all are outfitted with recycling bins, and our cafes and break rooms are all part of the action too. Paper towel and toilet paper rolls, cardboard boxes, and more are repurposed as enrichment toys, puzzles, and cuddly spots for the zoo animals. Zoo also participates in the Hefty Orange Bag recycling program.
But this is basically another type of recycling. So a lot of plastics you're not allowed to recycle unless it has the triangle on it with a number inside. Well, the nice thing about the Hefty Energy bags is that they will take non-recyclable plastics. So that includes candy wrappers, it includes drink lids, it includes even styrofoam. So plastics that would normally go into a landfill and take a very, very long time to break down can instead be used by the Hefty Energy Bag program. They take them away and they recycle them for use elsewhere. So it helps us reduce our waste and reduce what we send to landfills. Sustainability is important because we only have one planet. And so everything that we can do to help sustain the planet, that it will in turn sustain us, and not only us, but our future generations and the ecosystems and the wildlife that we love and want to protect.